Hello everybody, Big Planes here, and today I wanted to do an update video number 2 on the LEGO 737. So a lot has been done here since we saw it last, and most importantly I'm trying to solve some key problems and figure out some key things before we go ahead and order the main pieces for this thing, because do keep in mind that I am also building a space shuttle and trying to collect pieces for that. You can see the parts for it over there, so I can't spend all the money and time on this, but I know there are a lot of people that want to see me build planes and passenger planes, so this is sort of what I'm doing for them. So you can see the cross section here, we're sort of staying with this sort of design. This is not the ultimate color scheme it's going to be. It's going to probably be white or some other color. I'm going to get to that in the next part of this video here. But what I really want to talk about is the wing design here. And it's sort of interesting. There's a lot of geometry going on here, a lot of stuff that I still want to include in it, a lot of control surfaces that need to be included in it still. I want to include spoilers up here, ailerons out here. I've already built the flaps into it, and I'll show you that in a minute here. And I'm also figuring out how I'm going to mount it to the wing. So you can see right here that I have sort of come up with a design that should get us pretty decently accurate to what it is. And there's going to be some interesting techniques that are going to be needed on the 737 because, as you can see on the model down there, it does have a bit of a diherial too, along with being tapered back. So what we're going to do here is, I realized that, sorry about the shaky camera, I realized that there's really no one way to be able to mount this at an angle using only wedge plates. So I figured out that you could put this wedge plate here along with that wedge plate there. It will get you the exact angle that you need. And this is built directly on top of the blueprint, so keep that in mind. And so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. This wing right here is still just design. It's not completely finalized yet. I'm just trying to get some key features into it. And you can see the flap is in there for sure. And it's going to be hard to demonstrate this to you one-handed, but you can see that first you can slide this whole thing out like this. These little things can fold out like that, and then this one folds out like that. So as you can see, you get a trifold flap like this, and this design is very similar to what was actually on the 747 over here. So you can definitely see how they're related there. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I'm still working on trying to get ailerons out here, spoilers up here, and some other stuff. And oh yeah, slats up here, which I might be able to do. So I'm trying to get all the control surfaces on this wing that are on the actual plane on this model, because this is something that I want people to be able to display and play with, so that's for sure. And the design of plane and the type of plane that this is going to be, I've decided that it should probably be a 700. Like I said, 800's way too long, -9, -10 too long. The earlier model 737s, even the 600s, this might be a 600 because I might need to make it smaller, and that's, I believe, is the smallest variant of the 737 in the fleet. So I might end up making a 600. That would remove the flaps from the end of the wings and make this thing a little smaller. But I really don't want to do one of the older 737s that had the little engines that were right here and mounted under the wing, because yeah, I would love to have one of those in my collection so it can go with the 747. But most people recognize the 737 as having those big flat engines. So sadly, not sadly, we're going to go with that. And when it comes to the airline, I have considered doing Southwest because I really think the color scheme on that plane is quite interesting. It's very vibrant and will stand out in my collection and probably a lot of other people's collections. But you do realize that that would require 2 licensing things for LEGO. It would have to get licensed through Boeing, of course, as the 737, and then they'd have to go through Southwest to get their permission to do it. And with that many licensing concerns, I'm not sure if it would actually be successful, so I might just submit this one as a sort of standard plane. I'll try to make it as interesting as I can, or I'll do it in the Boeing house colors, either one of those. But I might just put it as the LEGO airline because I don't want to see it fail due to copyright issues or to licensing issues. Another thing I want to point out is that I have some designs for the engines. Again, these are rough designs. These are not final. But you can see that if you sort of match up some parts to the scale model, this is a scale blueprint on what the forward view the 737 should look like, and you can see that the macaroni pieces work perfectly for the engines, and I do believe they make tiles for those now, so it'll be a nice, very smooth intake. And I'll sort of figure out how to mount those on to make it look even smoother later on when I actually have a wing to mount the engines to. But yeah, that's really all I've got in that area. I'm still sort of solving key design problems before I go ahead and do any major ordering, because that is always something you should do before you try to start a large project like this. And so yeah, if you have any suggestions, please be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I am going to try to finish this one within the century, so so I really have this video. If you have any suggestions, like I said, leave them in the comment section below. Any ideas on what airline this can be? Now, do keep in mind that you do have to get licensing permissions from that airline to be able to produce this as a set, and that might be a little challenging. So that's all I really have for this video, and bye for now.